Do you want to know how to make better pianos? Then watch this video. Right guys, welcome back to another video titled Do You Want to Make Better Pianos? Let's get into it. So, this is my most recent track. It's called By My Side, and I'll loop the piano straight into it, no messing about. Have a look what we've got. A hefty piano. So we have got a Nexus piano. Piano 17, which is kind of the mid, adding some dirt as well. Literally, I'm sure I had an EQ on that, but I probably took it off just because I was taking out too much weight. Yeah, I wanted this mid-range out of it. And then this one is another Nexus piano called Modern Chill, with wide at 200, and then I've got a bit of dynamic EQ just to give it a bit of movement. I've been watching a lot of videos where people talk about adding movement to your track, and this is a good way to do it. Just adding a bit of an EQ, like kind of moves when it hits that note. So it's doing this. I'll take it off. It's very flat. Just gives it a bit of a vibe. Spread it 200% wider, and then underneath we've got the classic Korg. Can't miss out a Korg. If you're thinking about piano house, most of them are using Korgs, trust me. So on this we've got the same kind of a dynamic EQ to give it a bit of movement. Then I've got a Magic Stereo because it comes standard as mono, and then I'm boosting that 200% wide as well. That's them both together, and then this. So always, if you're going to do pianos and you're going to duplicate them, always try and put them on like an octave up, rather than having them all play the same on the same octave, because it will get very muddy. Have I got anything on the bus? Nope. Then it's just a bass underneath. Bass underneath is called Gorge's House. We've got a bit more dynamic EQ. And just see it's lifting that frequency. It's taking out this one here. Not really doing too much, just taking out that nasty little We've got a reverse piano into the drop. I'll play it from this bit so you can listen to it in. Oop. A bit of and all I did was say I had that, I got that note. Yeah, I'll do it for you now. So if I place, duplicate that, and just grab that. Oop, slowly. Just solo that. And then maybe I'd go to there. Just delete all the others off it so it doesn't take ages to freeze. I'll do that. Where's freeze? Freeze the track. Let it freeze. And then oop, click that again. And flatten. Get rid of that bit. Drag that out. Change that to Complex Pro. Let's have a listen. Then click on that. Reverse it. We've got the piano. Make sure it lines up. Doesn't have to line up perfectly. The other one does, but might be a bit longer, that one. But that wasn't there, so it'll be like that. Easy as that. Let's delete that channel. We've got a string loop underneath it. Nothing special. Side chaining as always. Then we've got this little pluck from Nexus again. More dynamic EQ. Barely hear it. It's panned quite hard to the right. Not right far to the right, but it's far enough so it's out of the way. And I've turned the instrument bus down 0.5. Got a track spacer just so the vocal can cut through. Not doing much. Let's don't know why that's not doing it. I'll find a place where the vocal's in. Go over here. There you go. Just helping that vocal cut through. On the vocal bus, I've got a bit of fresh air. Really brightens it up. I think the drums carry this track a lot. I'll show you my drum processing. Kick in mono. Another dynamic EQ. Don't get me wrong, I might not be doing it right, but it works. Low cut at 47. Don't need all that bottom end from the kick because we've got that bass. Clap, EQ'd, be dynamic again. Yep, dynamic on its own. Kick on its own, sorry, I'll show you that as well. Nice little thumpy kick. Hi-hat. Look out some nasty frequencies on this. No one needs that in their ears and no one needs that in their ears. Just boosting it there. Got a slight little weird noise to it, but it fits in quite nicely. This little hat loop. See, I duck it where I boosted the other frequencies as well. I've been doing a lot of reading on mixing and stuff, and you don't need a lot. You just need solid sample selection. So I've got 2 EQs on that. And I'm boosting it there a little bit. Don't know why I put it on 2 EQs. Just boosting it at the top end. But yeah, you don't need a lot to be doing mixing. Panned right, panned left. Just pan stuff out. Create some space in the mix. Another little hat. Shuffly loop. Taking out so it doesn't clash with the other one. Got anything on drums? Oh, my computer started lagging. Just a mix gel compressor, which I use on everything. You see all my channels, pretty much I've got a mix gel. When I play it. Taking out about minus 2.5 to 2.7, and then just giving it 3 dB of makeup gain. Vocals are exactly the same, pretty much. A lot of EQing. No active on this one. No dynamic, sorry. Boosting that nice little crunchy frequency there. Taking out that muddy frequency. So what I've done with this is, if I press automation, press A on your keyboard, track panning, so I've panned it. And then it'll go into just to add something, a bit of movement to the track. It's all about getting that groove right. I've got this little ad-lib underneath. Got doubles, harmonies, spreaded them out, 15 and 15. Got this little talking loop underneath. Can barely hear it through it, but it just, without it, it sounds a bit bare. Just fills in some nice little gaps. It's heavily side-chained. To be fair, though, probably against people's rules, but it's not against mine. I side-chain my vocals with the kick. So without and with. Gives it a nice bounce, impact. And then absolutely bog standard effects. More EQ, taking out audible frequencies without the EQ. Just making it sound a little bit thinner. The low cut on that one. Got these side chained as well, and I've got an EQ ducking loads of mid out. Because it just cleans up the little mix a little bit. Really. I've done the same with the crash here. I've done a bit of panning. As well as the up. Same probably type, yep. There's not much to it. Then I've got what have I got? What have I got to show you? Some extra little bits here. Anyway, I had something else. So I've added in. Not that, that's the bass. Already showed you that. Got a little horn sound. Pan 30 to the right. Barely hear it, but without it. Just gives it a little bit of something extra. And then I've got it playing random notes there, just to start the notes. And then here I've got it playing all of them just to lift it up on the last section. Got that going through a Valhalla. And then low cut. That is the brass big stab. And then I've got another little element here, pan to the left a little bit, which is just a loop. Just to lift it. Just all this stuff that you wouldn't even realise is there just makes a massive difference to lifting the track. The last drop here now. We've got that vocal. By my side. By my side. Boosting there. Putting out the mud there. I've high cut a lot of stuff. I have noticed that a lot of people are high cutting the top ends, which is a good idea really, because then it won't sound too harsh no matter what you listen to it on. Then I've got a little mastering rack on it, just an Ableton one. Show you what that's doing if I get it playing. Let's just get this looping. Oop. Not much. Tiny bit of glue. Multi-band, lifting everything up. Bit of middle and side EQ. Another glue compressor, doing a bit of clipping. Really not taking much, just gluing it together. I've got bass mono at the start at 82.7. Then we've got the isotope. Great plug-in. Spreading out. Oop, it's going to play. Don't know why it's not playing. I've spread out a little bit of mids, which I thought sounded quite good. There's nothing playing. There you go. And then spread out a little bit of the high mid, and then I've narrowed it down at the top, and I've monoed the bass. I'll just play it without that. 1 minute. Got quite a few plugins running, so if I turn it off, and then with it, just pushes it out a little bit. Limiter, not doing much. You don't really need to do much. This is for just using OBS because it was coming through quite loud. And I've also, which I've been watching videos on, automated my master by putting a utility, because you still want everything to be running through the compression and the limiter and stuff, but you just want to bring the level down just before the drop. So I brought it down minus 1.6, and then it just gives it extra impact when this piano comes in, just to lift it again. And then down again here for the next little kind of break where the singing comes back in. And it's automated, just still down, just so it gives that last drop an extra huge impact. Not much, but if I turn it off and you listen, everything's a similar sort of level. You want just a little bit of a lift. It just gives it a little bit of lift. I always use waves. So I was mastering my stuff at minus 14 LUFS because that's what Spotify and stuff recommend. But having analysed quite a few people's tracks, everyone seems to be doing it at about minus 9. So this should be minus 9 bang on when it builds up. Oh, sorry, yeah, I've got that on. Yeah, it would be minus 9 if that wasn't on, sorry. But I don't want to deafen yous. And that is absolutely it. At the start, we've got a little intro. Not much going on. I've duplicated the kick layer and I've just high-passed it. So it's just the same kick, but with that. And I always take off the ends of my kits, because if you leave that there, it still play. If you don't have a fade on it, it will still play a little bit of the kick, and it's quite annoying because you can, they all add up. You can hit, and the rest is just really simple. But layer your pianos, get yourself Nexus. It's worth investing in. Normally I would probably glue the piano, but I wanted it to feel a little bit loose and dirty. Oh, I have got a middle and side EQ on the piano. So on that piano group, if I turn it off, just boosting a bit of the sides. Not really doing much, and cutting a bit. Cutting at 100 Hz. Sorry, that's my phone. Get yourself fresh air on it as well. That makes a difference. And then I'm cutting out some nasty frequencies as well. You'll be surprised. I'm cutting out nasty frequencies, adding a bit of mid to it. Cutting out nasty frequencies cleans up your mix. So, quick video, nice and easy. Nothing too complicated. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe. I think my videos will be starting on Fridays from now on, but maybe Thursdays. So, just turn your notifications on, and then you'll get notified when a new video comes out. Thank you very much. Take care.